Kai was a young otter, full of laughter and life. Nothing brought him more joy than sliding down the riverbank and splashing into the cool water. Clutched tightly in his paws was his most treasured possession, a smooth, heart-shaped stone that shimmered in the sunlight. It was not just a rock, it was his, something he felt connected to, something special. One bright afternoon, after playing in the river, Kai placed his stone on the sun-warmed rock. He turned for just a moment to chase a dragonfly, but when he looked back, his heart dropped. The stone was gone. Panic rushed through him as his eyes darted around the riverbank. That was when he caught a glimpse of movement on the hill above, a flash of gray fur near a dark burrow. It was Boris, the old badger who lived alone and hardly ever spoke. Their eyes met for an instant before Boris disappeared into the shadows. Later that evening, the stone was found by Nana Otter, who sat in the warmth of their den gently polishing it. The soft light made its surface glow as she hummed a quiet tune. The next morning, Kai returned to the river, holding his stone close, feeling more protective than ever. He saw Boris nearby, grumbling at a pair of young rabbits and shooing them away. Kai watched him suspiciously. Later that day, the stone vanished again. Kai rushed to the familiar rock, his paws patting every inch of its surface, but it was gone. Panic rose like a tide, bringing anger with it. Then he saw it, a single, muddy paw print. It was large and unmistakably a badger's. Boris. Fury took hold of Kai. Without thinking, he bounded up the hill, yelling Boris's name, his rage growing with each step. As he reached the burrow, he stopped. A massive, rotting log lay balanced dangerously above the entrance. He stared at it as his anger whispered terrible ideas. From below, Nana Otter saw him and called out, pleading with him to stop, but Kai did not listen. He scrambled up the slope, pressed his small shoulder against the log, and pushed with all his might. The log groaned under the strain. Then, just before he could push again, something shimmered in the dimness of the burrow. He paused and peered down. There sat Boris, his back slumped. In his paws, he cradled a small gray stone. His eyes were lost in memory as a single tear rolled down his fur. In that quiet, vulnerable moment, Boris looked nothing like the grumpy badger Kai thought he knew. Kai's breath caught in his throat. His anger crumbled into shame. Slowly, he stepped back from the log. The anger drained away, replaced by heavy remorse. He approached the burrow and hesitated at the entrance. Boris looked up, startled, and quickly tried to hide a small pile of stones. "I'm sorry," Kai said softly, his eyes downcast. "I thought you took my stone." After a long silence, Boris sighed and gestured to the stones. "These belong to my family," he said quietly. "Each one reminds me of someone I've lost. I come here to remember them." Kai listened without a word, and for the first time he understood. Together, they stepped outside. As they passed the log, Kai saw a sparkle in the mud. He rushed over and pulled his heart-shaped stone free. It had been there all along, simply lost, not stolen. As the sun set, Kai placed his stone gently on the ground between them. It was no longer just a stone, it was a bridge. Boris hesitated, then, slowly, placed one large paw next to it. No words were spoken, but in that shared silence, a new beginning was found.